The Pauls chose to settle amidst an inner-city hive of activity. A Scottish architect, Brian's worked as far as Russia and the US. Namibian-born Cecile has run fashion businesses from Pretoria to Edinburgh. Together, they're a decor and design force of nature.
Hello, Harmony.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Very nice to meet you.
Hello, Harmony.
After 5 months of stripping what was a dilapidated office and painting the space white, they could begin to express themselves.
Walking into your home, I can see why it was love at first sight. What were your first impressions?
You know, we lived in a space very similar to this in Edinburgh, in the city centre of Edinburgh, in an old Georgian penthouse right at the top of a building, and our view was beautiful Edinburgh Castle. And the minute I saw this property, when it came on the market, I thought, it's so similar and yet it's so different, you know, with this uninterrupted view of Table Mountain.
The structure wasn't always like this. What did it look like before you worked on it?
Harmony, this was a very tired old office floor. We had to strip out ancient ceilings that were crumbling and lift an awful fake wooden floor in order to release the openness of the space and brighten and freshen the whole volume up.
You're such a dynamic duo. Brian, you're an architect, and Cecile, you're quite the creative. What was it like working on this home together?
For me, the best part was buying all the stuff that we didn't have, starting with the doors that we found in an old antique shop, and that became, I think, the centerpiece of the house. So those kind of moments, I think, are the ones that I really relished.
I really enjoyed the doors. I enjoyed repairing them, extending them, using a good local craftsman to make something out of what would have been ruined and is now a positive asset for the building. The challenge is to reuse, to be sustainable, and to generate for the future.
Against the white shell, every bit of craft and workmanship stands out, while the simple kitchen strikes a balance between conversation pieces and practicality.
Your home has a lovely openness to it, and the kitchen definitely contributes to it.
The rest of the home is very open planned, and we thought we'd stick with the theme. And obviously, as you come in, the kitchen is the first place that you get to. We do a lot of cooking, wanted to keep it really open so that you can see the other people while you're cooking. I wanted to keep things light and almost have these cabinets just floating within the kitchen and making the food the key element, not the kitchen fitments as such. So that it's practical, and it's a simple kitchen, but it works.
I can see your personality within the decor of the home. What theme were you going for?
I suppose it's very random, really. It's quite eclectic. It's from all the places that we've ever lived in and that we've been, and ultimately all the things that I absolutely love, old and new, and some very costly and others very, very cheap or almost worthless to other people. But I love the 1920s, I love the 1930s, so things like the doors there and various of the other things have that feel, that 1920s feel to it. And so I suppose it's a kind of a loose theme. The main feature, which is that beautiful mountain out there, that is the thing that is the real picture rather than the stuff that we've got in the flat.
This industrial meets Italian light feature is given the space to shine by its clean-lined surroundings. The same goes for the decor choices.
Cecile, your home is a treasure trove of unique pieces, like this amazing light fixture.
It is quite an interesting one, isn't it? It used to sit just below a cupola that we had in our Edinburgh apartment, and we lovingly packed it up and we shipped it here, and we thought it should have centre stage again in this apartment too, and hence it's hanging right here.
The old keys are from a country house in Scotland, one of many storied pieces.
This part of your home looks like an art gallery with the Baroque dresser, the mannequin, and the two crowns.
The Baroque dresser has come with us over the years, and we just love the colour of it and we love the shape of it. It's probably Indian. The dressmaker's dummy, I've always been into all sorts of things fashion-wise. It's a very old dressmaker's dummy from Harrods, probably from the 1920s. So again, it's just a piece that I love, and it relates to everything we are and we've ever done. The crowns there are fun pieces. We've used them as props. We've, over the years, done the most extraordinary photo shoots with those crowns. We love them.
As an African king, the feature that stood out for me the most is this throne.
Yes, it's a very interesting one, isn't it? But you know, I'll let Brian speak for himself because it's his chair.
I bought it as a student and that was very tired and old. When I brought it to Africa, I had it recovered in the springbok, and it started life being called the King Arthur chair and is now called the Shaka Zulu chair.
There are several nods to South African-inspired design.
These Tretycop cushions are such a fun fit.
They are indeed. They are indeed. They're probably the latest or the newest acquisition of everything that's in this apartment. We bought them when we arrived in Cape Town, and they're just fun cushions. And of course, Tretycop is just such an iconic person. It would be a shame not to have one of each of his works in our apartment.
The main ensuite feels subtly medieval, with a gold tray and wine goblets from Krugersdorp, where the couple were wed. Its fabrics pick up old metal colours and are rich in natural texture, like a chamber in a Scottish castle.
Oh, this is quite an interesting bedroom. This metal frame looks like a belt. What are some of the main design elements and pieces you've incorporated into this room?
Key pieces are the bed, the antler chair, and into the actual door handles of the big sliding doors. They pick up on our approach throughout the house, which is to use and exploit the textures, colours of natural materials and products, sometimes used in the raw state, other times completely recycled, like the cool drink cans that make up the horn handles of the main door. The antler chair itself is made up of recycled antlers that are shed every year from a natural animal process, while the bed appears to be leather, but is actually metalwork.
The paintings complement the aged metal and organic colour scheme, while the ensuite bathroom is a highlight for Brian.
This is quite an interesting bathroom.
The bathroom is the focal point of the entire apartment. You're led into it through the processional front room, through the big double doors and into the bedroom. We exploited the deep space of the apartment and created this sanctuary, this alcove, where a completely private and secluded and comfortable and secure bath space can look out across the mountain but yet be warm and cosy on a cool night.
The vintage piece they prize the most is the 400-million-year-old heritage site they look onto.
There you go.
Thank you, thank you. I'm assuming this is where you spend most of your day.
It is indeed, yes, especially late afternoons. It's just so beautiful, as you can see.
You've actually lived in Scotland and Italy. What made you decide to call Cape Town your home?
I love everything about Cape Town. I think it's the most spectacular place in the world.
We're delighted to call Cape Town our home because of the vibrancy of the city, the creativity and the joy of the people.
If I had an incredible view like this, I'd probably also settle down here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.